979 1055 KISS FM. That is Topic with Breaking Me. It's Listen, It's Liz, and I'm so excited to have back in studio Slocum Dickson Medical Group, SDMG.com, Facebook and Twitter. It's the Medical Moment. Adrienne, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. So happy to be back.
I am so excited. I haven't been able to talk to you in such a long time, only via email. So this is really nice to see you again.
It's great to be here.
And it is the Slocum Dickson Medical Moment, the first Wednesday of every month we get together. And with Slocum Dickson, you guys obviously taking all the proper precautions to make sure people are feeling safe. And one of the cool things that you guys have started doing was the online urgent care and laboratory check-ins.
Yeah, so that makes it really easy for patients because if you don't want to wait inside the building, for urgent care at least, it's a nice feature. So you can go to our website. We're saying check in online, but basically you're reserving a spot, and then it'll text you and say, like, whenever you decide, you say, tell me 10 minutes before my time, and it'll tell you 10 minutes before, head on over.
Right.
And so you don't have that time where you're in the building waiting, and we can do it for lab as well. So it's right on our website. And when you do come to the building, if you haven't been yet during this time, just be prepared. There are extra precautions. So you do go through a screening process, very simple. Get your temperature taken. They ask you how you're feeling and the symptoms you're having. And then you'll see all the signs about, staying away from other people, keeping that 6 feet of distance.
Right.
Put your mask on and keep it on the whole time you're in the building. And so just those normal precautions that I think we're used to seeing in other places we're doing at Slocum as well. And we've kind of, reorganized the waiting areas and stuff so you're away from other people and as safe as possible.
And it's definitely working, and it's definitely helping people feel comfortable when they're there because other things are still happening. You still have to go see doctors. You still have to get your appointments in. And do you want to introduce who you brought with you today?
Yeah, so we brought our dermatologist, Dr. Yazdani, here today to talk about some fun things about keeping ourselves healthy in the summertime.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing very good. I'm excited to have you in because this is a very important topic. And sun protection, sun damage when it comes to your skin. I'm sure you get asked a ton of questions about it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's start. Let's start with SPF. What is the best? How often should we be using it? The basics.
So there's a couple of things that go into sun protection. Sunscreen is a big part of it, but some of the more easy things that everyone can do. One is just trying to stay out of the sun during the times when the sun intensity is the highest. So usually that's around 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you can seek shade around that time or avoid going out in the sun during those times, that's ideal. The second thing is sun protective clothing. So wearing a hat with a wide brim, wearing sunglasses, wearing sun protective clothing, which you don't have to reapply as you do with a sunscreen. So that makes things easier. All of those things can be really helpful in addition to sunscreen. When it comes to sunscreens specifically, the formal recommendation is to use a broad spectrum SPF 30 or higher sunscreen. The broad spectrum portion of it means that the sunscreen is protecting you against different types of sun rays, both UVA and UVB sun rays.
Okay.
And you want a number that's 30 or higher. And basically what that 30 number means is if you go out in the sun and within a minute you burn, if you put an SPF 30 sunscreen, it takes you 30 times longer if you're putting on the right amount to get that same burn.
Yeah.
A higher SPF helps, especially because most of us don't put on enough of the sunscreen to get the protection.
Boom. That's the biggest thing. Do you actually put on enough? Probably not. So let's talk about those people who didn't put on enough or didn't put on any. They have the sunburn. How would you, treat it, or what's your best advice for when it comes to you have a sunburn? Now what do you do?
So the main thing to realize about sunburns is that there is no way to change the skin damage that results from it. And there's no way to hasten the healing process. So really the best thing you can do is to avoid it in the first place. But if you are in the unfortunate situation of having a sunburn, if it's a mild to what we call moderate range sunburn, there's a number of things that can be soothing and can help you get through it. So cool compresses or soaks can be soothing. Things like calamine lotion or aloe vera based gels. Some people find very soothing. Run into more extensive blistering, severe pain, or systemic symptoms like fevers, headaches, nausea. Those people sometimes need hospitalization.
Really? Yeah, and I think that's what's huge is sometimes people, it's just a sunburn, you'll be fine. But there are times when the sunburn can be a little bit more damaging.
Right. So in the short term, the sunburn can be painful. It can cause blistering of the skin. It can predispose you to infections if there's extensive blistering or dehydration, which can all be serious. In the longer term, you get earlier skin aging as a result of sunburns.
And nobody wants that. Just saying.
And you also increase your risk of serious, dangerous skin cancers down the road.
So you would just say, make sure you wear your sunscreen, wear your protective gear.
That's right.
And limit your time in the sun.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. I think that's an easy way to go throughout the summer. I'm trying really hard to take care of my skin now that I've done a little bit of my research into sun damage and that stuff. I don't want that. So, Adrienne, you said something about his office hours in Ilion.
Yeah, so we're very excited. If you may know, we have an office in Ilion, 55 Central Plaza in Ilion. So Dr. Yazdani will have hours there, so starting at the end of the month, but beginning next week, you can actually call and schedule.
Get all those details about Slocum Dickson Medical Group at sdmg.com, Facebook, and Twitter. It was so lovely to see you both in studio. And make sure you are wearing that SPF.